All right, item 10, conduct of business. Our first item is item A, adopt a resolution authorizing the adoption of the A Company, 1st Battalion, 506th Infantry, 1st Brigade Combat Team, 101st Airborne Division by the City of San Bruno. Chief?
Thank you. Good evening again, Honorable Mayor and Council members. Americans Supporting Americans, or ASA, began its work in 1967 when Sergeant Joe Artavia wrote his older sister from Vietnam, asking her to do something to help raise the morale of his unit in the 101st Airborne. Joe's sister, Linda Patterson, as a young woman living in San Mateo, California, convinced her hometown to adopt her brother Joe's unit in Vietnam. Believing that the individual soldiers needed to feel the interest and concern of communities back home, San Mateo agreed to Linda's request. As a result, the morale of Joe's fellow soldiers was, in Joe's own words, raised as high as the clouds. Tragically, Joe, who was just 19, was later killed in action 3 weeks following the adoption of his unit. To this day, the men in his unit gratefully remember him and Linda each time they look at a cherished medallion that reads City of San Mateo, Adopted Son. After Joe's death, Linda traveled to Vietnam to personally deliver the medallions San Mateo had issued in honor of Joe and the men in his unit. Many of the men carry those medallions to this day. ASA has facilitated the adoption of many units by towns and cities across the country. Through these adoptions, both soldiers and civilians are discovering the unique and crucial link that exists between the men and women of our armed forces and the American citizens they are charged to protect. In times of both war and peace, this strong connection has proved dynamically and richly rewarding to all involved. ASA has, over the years, learned that the greatest benefit is gained when the adoption remains active, whether the unit is at home or deployed abroad. There are many ways the two can demonstrate their care and patriotism towards one another. For example, when units are home, they have visited with the community, participating in a variety of events and activities. Traditionally, units deployed abroad count on letters and care packages from adoptive cities to boost morale and help them feel connected to home. 7 cities within San Mateo County have adopted units within the 101st Airborne. These cities include San Mateo, Burlingame, Foster City, Millbrae, San Carlos, and Belmont. ASA has requested San Bruno's participation in the program by adopting A Company, 1st Battalion, 506th Infantry, 1st Brigade Combat Team of the 101st Airborne Division. The 506th Infantry Regiment is an airborne light infantry regiment of the United States Army. The 1st Battalion, 506th Infantry Regiment is assigned to the 1st Brigade Combat Team, 101st Airborne Division in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Since 1942, the regiment has a long and distinguished record of service in World War II, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Its motto is Currahee, which in Cherokee means stand alone, or stands alone. Of the 22 Medals of Honor awarded to soldiers within the 101st Airborne, 7 were Currahee. Should Council authorize the adoption of this unit, it would be adopted by the city as a whole. Staff recommends that the Police Explorer program serve as the coordinating entity for the city to lead this effort. Police Explorers are volunteers between the ages of 14 and 21 looking for ways to give back to the community. And we have some of our explorers and our explorer advisors here tonight who would do most of the heavy lifting should we proceed with this effort. And while the explorers would manage this program, they would seek the assistance of community service groups and private partners interested in supporting this worthy cause. The adoption of this unit would be continuous and on a permanent basis. However, the city may choose to discontinue its participation at any time. Activities related to adopting a unit include sending letters and care packages, having unit members speak to school and community groups, holding social gatherings to express the community support, finding joint community service projects to work on, and supporting family members of personnel deployed overseas. The role of the Police Explorers would be to seek partnerships, raise funds, and facilitate the support of soldiers and their families. In addition to setting up the initial adoption, ASA would provide ongoing adoption support services needed to help make this adoption a success. This help comes in many forms, including fundraising assistance, postings on the ASA website, distributing ASA electronic newsletters and email updates, providing guidance in selecting adoption activities, and providing handbooks and brochures. San Bruno has a long history of supporting the military. The Golden Gate National Cemetery is the city's most hallowed and sacred ground, and the Avenue of Flags does a tremendous job in supporting that location. For years, San Bruno was home to a Naval Engineering Command base and continues to house an armory for the California National Guard. Additionally, the 23rd Marine Regiment headquarters is located in the center of town. We enjoy a strong, productive relationship with this regiment, and the adoption of the 101st Airborne Unit would not detract or compromise our support for our Marine Corps personnel. There is no anticipated increase in demand on staff time and no anticipated fiscal impact to the city should we proceed. The police department already invests in the Explorer program and sees it as a valuable program. We assign Explorer advisors who facilitate monthly meetings and supervise Explorers when they are working special events. The Adopt a Unit program would be incorporated into the Explorer program schedule, with most of the work being done on a volunteer basis by our young people. Costs associated with the Adopt a Unit program would be covered via the Police Explorer fundraising efforts. Staff does recommend that Council adopt the resolution authorizing the adoption of this 101st Airborne Unit. There are a couple people here tonight that have led this effort in other cities. Leanne Thornton from the city of Hillsborough and Patrice Olds from the city of San Mateo, who have done a tremendous job on their own city's behalf in adopting units within the 101st Airborne, and we hope to learn a great deal from them in moving forward. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, and if I can't answer them, I will invite our experts in the audience to answer.
Any questions for the chief? Marty?
I would just like you to formally.
I'm sure they'd be thrilled with that. Ladies, would you like to come on up and introduce yourselves?
It's an amazing, wonderful thing you're doing, and you deserve recognition for it, so thank you very much.
And Leanne Thornton on the left there is also very active in the USO and has been recognized internationally for her work at USO. She's regularly at San Francisco International Airport and other places across the country, dealing with some pretty difficult times with soldiers and their families. So thank you for that.
Would either of you like to address the council at all about anything regarding this program?
They were so anxious earlier. I'm surprised.
That's incredible.
And we do have to acknowledge that Leanne was a former San Bruno Police Department employee. So we're glad to have you back here, and thank you for both of you and all that you do.
Leanne is the heart of the program here. I want to thank you and commend you for looking and taking this action, considering it going forward. And I want to say one of the things, I've been in charge of the program in the city of San Mateo for just 5 years, but it was the reason I left my previous city and came to San Mateo, because this is real community involvement. And what I love about this program is that it brings out every facet of the community. You have your explorers who are going to be leading the charge, but what you'll have are community members donating food items, coming to packing parties, rallying around the letters that come out. It really draws together. You have school children involved because they get to write letters. It reaches into every facet of the community, and it really does serve not only in supporting our troops who deserve and need, and it makes a difference to them, but it does something for the city of San Bruno too, bringing you together. You are the city with a heart, and this will just reestablish and build on that even more.
Thank you.
Luann? Oh, you did such a great job. Anyway, we are here and poised and ready to offer support to the chief and his team. And it's fun to do. It's really worthwhile, and you feel good about it.
Good. Thank you very much. I know this Friday at the Council of Cities, you're going to have a little program regarding this, and I'm really happy that I'm going to be there, and San Bruno is going to be the 7th city. So this is great. Thank you very, very much.
Through the chair.
Ken?
I would just like to say that last year I was at San Mateo City Hall on other business, and the place was all abuzz. I think I got in the middle of a packing party. And I learned about it, and then ironically we were at Wreaths Across America, and there she was. She was talking us into joining in, and we were anxious to do it. You work fast, so we're very anxious to do it, and as a member of a local service organization, we're anxious to help out the explorers. Thank you very much.
Through the chair. Also, Councilman Iber is correct that we were at the Reese, and there was Leanne. And it was just timing. We went and saw Nimitz. We got educated while we were there. And I want to thank the chief for putting this together, offering his department as the guidance to this. I want to thank the Avenue of Flags for hosting that, because that's where some of this came from. And Leanne, thank you for you doing what you're doing, and thank you for bringing it back home to where you worked, and thank you for bringing it to us.
Thank you. And just for the record, this has been in the works for quite some time, actually, so. Item 10B, adopt a resolution accepting the city's comprehensive annual...
We have to adopt the resolution.
I'm sorry, we better adopt the resolution.
We all sounded good, and then we were going to go
Yeah.
next.
We got
Would
excited.
someone like to introduce the resolution?
I would, Ken, is that all right?
Go ahead.
I will go ahead and introduce the resolution for our adoption.
Councilmember Rico Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Marty Medina. Aye. Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ibarra.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye. Now we're formal. Good.